Larimar. So, I want to talk about how to stop comparing yourself with others. Do you compare yourself with others often? I used to do that a lot in the past. And I want to share how I came out of that dysfunctional patterns. And I call it dysfunctional pattern because there were more cons than pros. By constantly comparing myself with others internally, I found myself depreciating my own self-worth because ultimately this is a question of whether I am good enough or not good enough. Finding the right question to ask is far more important than finding the answers, because by asking a specific question, you consciously or unconsciously wire your mindset in a particular way. So if you ask yourself a question that allows you to broaden your perspectives, then you can see more things and learn a lot with the limited experience, because this is all about mindset, and mental flexibility is so important. So without further ado, I want to focus on the topic. So, how to stop comparing yourself with others. So, number one, I personally found that by asking myself, why do I care? Help me realize what is it that I truly value. What do you gain by comparing yourself? Is it a sense of emotional security? Or do you feel that you are good enough based off of other people's judgment or opinions about you or about what you do or what you think? It could be a lot of different things, but eventually they are all tend to fall into this category of social validation. Basically, you may want to feel validated, feel that you are good enough and accepted by others. And a lot of people rely on other people's judgment. So ask yourself why you really care about what other people do, and what is it that you feel insecure about yourself. And number two, question yourself what you think is important is really valuable for you. So, for example, in my case, I thought other people's validation was important for me. So, I tried hard to become acceptable and pass these social standards in order to feel I am worthy enough. But then I realized that I can actually give myself enough credits and I could validate myself internally. In that way, I didn't have to rely on other people's reactions. And this is so much more sustainable than relying on others, because everyone has free will. Everyone is free to think in his or her own way, and it's not really possible to control what other people think. But it is possible to control how I think of myself, how I see myself. The trick is, not many people are taught in this way, so it may take some practice, but just as any other skills, it is learnable. Everything is learnable. And once you know, you don't have to rely on other people's reactions, but you can be self-sufficient regarding feeding your emotional needs. And once you truly know that you don't need anyone but only you to meet your emotional needs, you can stop comparing yourself with others. So that was actually number three. Give yourself what you truly want, because you can. You can start from something small, like Try to convince yourself why you're good enough. Opinions are subjective and there is no absolute truth or false. Whatever you believe in becomes true to yourself, and it applies to other people as well. So whatever you focus more becomes greater and greater and greater for you. So focus on the positive aspects of yourself. And this leads to number 4, which is about getting to know who you really are. Getting to know what you're really good at inherently, what you love, and it could be your skills or any areas you're curious about. Just get to know who you truly are. These days we're so busy, whether you're a student or you're an entrepreneur, parents, or kids. No matter who you are, a lot of people place a lot of expectations on you. There are a lot of social expectations you need to fulfill. Because of this, a lot of us forget to look within ourselves and get to know who we truly are. So spend some quality time, or if you are inherently more like an extrovert person, you can hang out with your people, gather more information about who you are. There are many tools out there available for free, such as MBTI personality test or astrological birth chart reading. By the way, I am currently booking for early 2020, so if you're interested in, check out the link below in description. And you can journal. Journal, I personally found very profound, very useful to know how I see myself. Because sometimes when we get caught up with emotions, we don't see things clearly, but when you write and read it out, you can see your thought patterns, how your mind works more clearly. And just the act of writing, I personally feel that very healing and self-organizing. So allow yourself to spend more time on what you love, and in this way you can get to know who you are. And this is like a lifelong journey. Self-discovery is a lifelong journey because as we gain more life experience, our perspective constantly changes, and because of that, how we think of ourselves and how we think of the world keeps changing. So constantly checking in with yourself, checking in your emotion, your mind, and be gentle with yourself. In this way, you can stop comparing yourself with others. And number 5, which is most important thing, choose to play your own game instead of playing the game that other people have already set up for you. And those other people may have no idea who you are and may have no interest in you at all. Everyone is different, unique. Everyone has different backgrounds, different skill sets, different personality, different preference. When you choose to play your own game, you can create your own rules. You can create your own timelines. Basically, you remove yourself out of the gigantic social game where a lot of us are just forced to play specific roles, even if it's not what we truly want because of the rules. But just know that you can choose to walk away and play your own game. And this is available when you know enough about who you are. Because when you don't really know who you are, you don't really feel secure about yourself. So you may not feel ready to create your own game of life. So this is what I did, and I hope this is helpful, and have a great day. Just know that you don't have to compare yourself. There are other ways to feel secure about who you are and feel contentment from within. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Bye.